Hello people! Big World Zach and Tori Roloff reveal 4-year-old daughter's medical diagnosis. Hello viewers, I am Alana. Welcome back to my channel. USA Daily History for Roloff family latest news update. Please subscribe to the channel and press the bell icon. The little people. Big World stars opened up about her new diagnosis on the most recent episode of the TLC series, according to Us Weekly, revealing that after reviewing results from a recent sleep study, doctors have determined she's suffering from a moderate form of sleep apnea, a disorder that causes a person to stop breathing while sleeping. According to the Cleveland Clinic, a sufferer's brain tries to protect them by waking them up enough to breathe, leading to restless nights of sleep that can cause serious complications long-term. Her father also said they anticipate a tonsillectomy in the future, after which, supposedly, the apnea goes away. In addition to obtaining the diagnosis, the sleep study looked to see if it would be safe to put Lila under anesthesia for the procedure. People with dwarfisms, airways are built slightly different than other people, and there is maybe a higher threat of something going wrong, Zach explained during the episode. The necessity didn't make the procedure any less nerve-wracking, with Zach pushing down his own nurse to comfort Lila ahead of time. I keep telling her that they'll put stickers all over her head and, you know, you're gonna have a nurse there and things like that. So I hope she has a good idea. But who knows with her, he said before the study. She gets it in her head, and then she gets scared. And then she has a hard time recovering. Choctaw, Miss. AP. It's a small part in a big movie. But for the Mississippi Band of Choctaw Indians, their scene in Sinners is a huge deal. The horror movie blockbuster, starring Michael B. Jordan as a gangster-turned-vampire slayer, paints a brief but impactful portrait of the tribe using Choctaw actors and cultural experts. For some, it's the first time they've seen the Choctaw way of life accurately portrayed on the big screen. In the scene, a posse of Choctaw, riding on horseback and in an old truck, arrives at a small farmhouse to warn the couple that lives there of coming danger. When the couple refuses their help, a Choctaw man wishes them luck in his native language before riding off. I've not seen another movie that has our language, like, spoken correctly, said Cynthia Massey, a cultural consultant for Sinners. Massey runs the tribe's Choctaw Imi Cultural Center alongside Cheryl Nickey and Department Director Jay Wesley. All three were hired as cultural consultants to ensure a genuine depiction of the tribe in the film. Together, they sifted through archives, researching how their ancestors would have dressed, spoken, and acted in the 1930s, when Sinners takes place. I was honored and humbled by the fact that they wanted a true representation, said Wesley, who also acted in the movie. Wesley connected the filmmakers to Choctaw actors and artifacts like the beaded sashes the Choctaw characters wear in the movie. Those sashes are now part of a Sinners display at the Cultural Center. The movie's introduction also features a short snippet of a Choctaw war chant, performed by Wesley's daughter, Jaden Wesley, who is a student at the University of California, Los Angeles. While recording, Jaden Wesley said the filmmakers told her they wanted the Choctaw people to hear their music in the movie. We were catering to our own people, even in that short little second, Jaden Wesley said, shining a spotlight on often overlooked cultures and topics, like the Choctaw people, is part of the mission at Proximity Media, which produced Sinners. The company was founded by Sinners director Ryan Coogler, his wife and film producer, Zinzi Coogler, and producer Sev Ohanian. It was never a question for us that if we were going to portray the Mississippi Choctaw, we got to have the right people who can tell us, who can tell Ryan what we're not knowing, what we're not thinking, Ohanian said. It was all because we're trying to serve Ryan's story of like putting truth on screen. Ohanian and his co-founders didn't stop with Choctaw consultants. They enlisted a small army of experts who advised on the confluence of cultures mingling in the Mississippi Delta, where the film is set. The resulting cinematic world was so well received, community organizers penned an open letter, inviting Coogler and his fellow filmmakers to visit the Delta. Last week, the Cooglers, Ohanian, and others took up the offer, attending a Sinners screening in Clarksdale, Mississippi. Clarksdale is where the film's events unfold. I hope this encourages other filmmakers to find opportunities to be authentic in their storytelling and to look at this rich tapestry of culture that's right here. For Wesley and his fellow consultants, the hope is the film will cultivate curiosity in audiences, encourage them to learn more about Choctaw culture, and visit the Choctaw Cultural Center. It's important to be connected to this culture because this was here before the public was here, Massey said. Probably 3/4 of Mississippi was Choctaw land, and now we only have 350,000 acres. They say Choctaw participation in the film has cultivated a sense of pride among tribe members. Nikki hopes it will encourage a sort of cultural renaissance at a time when she says fewer and fewer Choctaw speak their native language. I know for a fact that there are a lot of kids out there that don't even know how to speak our language. They only speak English, Nikki said. I hope they know it's okay to speak our language. Shetadio, AP. Colt Keith hit a tie-breaking RBI double in the 8th inning to help the Major League leading Detroit Tigers beat the lowly Chicago White Sox 5-4 on a rainy Wednesday night. The Tigers regrouped after blowing a 4-run lead and bounced back from an 8-1 pounding the previous day. Wenceel Perez was ruled safe at second with a leadoff double to center against Brandon Eisert, 2-1. In the 8th, after a successful replay challenge by Detroit, he scored with 1 out on Colt Keith's bloop double down the left field line that landed just fair beyond a sliding left fielder Andrew Benintendi's glove, making it 5-4. Will Vest, 5-0, pitched 2 scoreless innings, and Tommy Connell worked the 9th for his 8th save in 11 chances. The Tigers tagged White Sox starter Jared Schuster for 4 runs in the first after a 95-minute delay. Riley Green drove in 2 with a single and scored in the inning. The center square, U.S. Senator Ruben Gallego, D. Arizona, wants the Environmental Protection Agency to reconsider any efforts to eliminate the Energy Star program. The Trump administration has proposed ending the program, but in a letter to EPA Administrator Lee Zeldin, Gallego wrote Energy Star saves Arizonans money by providing them independent assurance that products from appliances to homes are energy-efficient investments. With energy prices continuing to be a top concern for American families, programs like Energy Star are more critical than ever, Gallego wrote Zeldin, a former congressman from New York. The Energy Star program was launched in 1992 during President George H.W. Bush's administration. The goal was to emphasize the alignment between economic growth, energy efficiency, and air quality protection. Business leaders and environmentalists were behind the idea, and Energy Star has enjoyed bipartisan support ever since. If you ask Gallego, it pays for Arizonans to have something such as Energy Star in place. The first-term senator said, a typical household can save about $450 annually on their energy bills by choosing Energy Star products. Gallego added that 45% of Arizona's housing and rental market is Energy Star certified. Chicago's Mike Tauchman hit an RBI double and scored in the 3rd. Benintendi doubled leading off the 4th and came around when Josh Rojas chased Tigers star 2 during President George H.W. Bush's administration. The goal was to emphasize the alignment between economic growth, energy efficiency, and air quality protection. Business leaders and environmentalists were behind the idea, and Energy Star has enjoyed bipartisan support ever since. If you ask Gallego, it pays for Arizonans to have something such as Energy Star in place. The first-term senator said, a typical household can save about $450 annually on their energy bills by choosing Energy Star products. Gallego added that 45% of Arizona's housing and rental market is Energy Star certified. Chicago's Mike Tauchman hit an RBI double and scored in the 3rd. Benintendi doubled leading off the 4th and came around when Josh Rojas chased Tigers starter Sawyer Gipson long with a sacrifice fly. Benintendi tied it at 4 in the 5th with a bases-loaded sac fly against Tyler Holton. Gipson Long lasted 3 2/3 innings in his first start in nearly 2 years, allowing 3 runs and 5 hits. The 27-year-old right-hander missed last season with elbow and hip injuries that required surgery. The center square, U.S. Senator Ruben Gallego, D. Arizona, wants the Environmental Protection Agency to reconsider any efforts to eliminate the Energy Star program. The Trump administration has proposed ending the program, but in a letter to EPA Administrator Lee Zeldin, Gallego wrote Energy Star saves Arizonans money by providing them independent assurance that products from appliances to homes are energy-efficient investments. With energy prices continuing to be a top concern for American families, programs like Energy Star are more critical than ever. Gallego wrote Zeldin, a former congressman from New York. The Energy Star program was launched in 1992 during President George H.W. Bush's administration. The goal was to emphasize the alignment between economic growth, energy efficiency, and air quality protection. Business leaders and environmentalists were behind the idea, and Energy Star has enjoyed bipartisan support ever since. If you ask Gallego, it pays for Arizonans to have something such as Energy Star in place. The first-term senator said, "A typical household can save about $450 annually on their energy bills by choosing energy." Gallego added that 45% of Arizona's housing and rental market is Energy Star certified. The state boasts 270 participating businesses and organizations, including 14 manufacturers of Energy Star certified products and 140 companies constructing certified homes, apartments, commercial buildings, and schools, wrote Gallego. Energy Star utility partners serve 3.2 million customers and support thousands of facilities, including schools, hotels, hospitals, office buildings, and industrial plants. Eliminating the Energy Star program would, according to Gallego, be a short-sighted decision, undermining decades of consumer savings and the conservation of energy. I strongly urge you to reconsider any efforts to eliminate the Energy Star program, wrote Gallego. Its continued operation is essential to advancing our shared goals of economic growth, energy efficiency, and making life more affordable for all Americans. The EPA confirmed in an email to the Center Square that the agency has received Gallego's letter. EPA will review the letter and will respond through appropriate channels, wrote an EPA spokesperson. Little people, big world's Tori Roloff marks son Jose's major milestone and fans are in disbelief.
Happy birthday, dude. Jose, you are funny and stubborn and the best color when you want to be. The doting mom captured her update. You keep us all on our toes and you're the best little brother we could have asked for. Alongside a carousel of photos of the birthday boy rocking a green polo with his hair adorably slicked back, Tori continued her reflection. You have grown so much this year, and it's so fun watching you become more independent. I love your spunk and determination. No one is going to tell you who to be except for you, she wrote. Tori concluded, I love you so much, say guy, and I can't wait to celebrate you all day long. Happy birthday. In the comments, Instagram users couldn't wrap their heads around the fact that Zach and Tori's younger son was already 3.